Hey pals. I figured I would try my hand at one of these build vlog things. So I recently finished my Veigar cosplay from League of Legends, my first ever League cosplay, and I am so excited about how it came out. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of my process, how I made the costume. Favorite products for weathering armor, and some behind the scenes footage from the shoot I just did with Sampo Images. I wore Veigar for the first time to GalaxyCon Richmond in Virginia, which was an amazing show. I was so excited that so many people recognized who I was. But one of the comments I got the most all weekend was about how chrome, how shiny and metallic my armor looked. So I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite products for painting and weathering, detailing your armor. Now, all of my Veigar armor does have about 4 or 5 layers of wood glue underneath the paint. I'm gonna skip that step today on our sample piece of foam, which is SKS Props HD foam, and just show you guys the painting process itself. For any armor that needs to look metallic, I am a huge fan of Deco Art's Elegant Finish. So I have that in shimmering silver. When you open it, you want to make sure it's nice and mixed up. I have already done that for us. You can see already how shiny and shimmery it is. SKS Props HD foam is well known for being high density, which means it doesn't need as much sealing to get your paint on nice and smooth. I personally still recommend sealing with wood glue. When the Elegant Finish metallic paint has dried, you're gonna get something that looks like this. Super chrome. Look at that shine. But how do we get from this to these? I super recommend Deco Art Metallic Luster. So they're like rubs. And when you first open them, they're pretty moussey. Look at that consistency. Oh my gosh. It's super fun to play with, but beware, it does get everywhere, especially as it starts to like dry and crack. To add some dimension, I like to start with the black shimmer. Now this one isn't gonna look as clean as the silver one, which is one of my newer pots. After a little while of use and being open and closed, it does lose its moussey consistency and starts to get pretty flaky. It still totally works when it's like this. For Veigar, I did use my fingers for most of it. However, for Soren, the pieces are just too small to get my fingers right in the edges. So instead, I'm gonna use a paintbrush. Probably my favorite thing about using these for weathering is just how pigmented they are. So for instance, if I come further out than I want to here, that's totally okay because the silver will cover it just fine. I also have white frost for added dimension if I want it to just have that little extra pop. So I'm gonna take a pretty liberal amount and start applying it to my armor, right along the creases. Now that we're working towards the middle, I am gonna go ahead and use my fingers. That's what it looks like right now. The harder you rub, the more you'll rub it away. And if you apply a little bit of water to your finger, you can smooth it out and rub it away even more. I'm gonna begin brushing it away from the middle, hitting those edges with quite a bit of pressure for that tarnished metal look. And because it's a rub and not a paint, you don't really have to wait for it to dry. However, it does get bitty. I can just take a paintbrush and brush that right out of there gently. And if you decide it's not quite as dark as you'd like it, you can just go through and do it again. Now I'm gonna grab my silver and with my finger, I'm gonna get just a bit so we don't have a large space and just start working it towards the outside. Again, it's difficult to get around the edges because it's so small. So I'm gonna grab another paintbrush to start gently feathering it over. Keep doing that until you get your desired effect. It is important to be aware of where it builds up, so I mostly got rid of it in the corners. It can really create a cakey effect if you're not aware of where it's gathering. And for a little added oomph, I'm gonna use some white frost, just for the middle. Because I do have so many layers on top of each other, you'll notice it's starting to get a bit cakey in the middle. Just give it a minute to set, and then you can take your brush and again, just wipe off all of the excess that you don't want. And now I'm gonna do the same around these edges. There's the gathering I'm talking about. Just get rid of that and smooth it out. Although the gathering can definitely be annoying, it's actually really helpful if you still have little gaps or holes that your wood filler or wood glue didn't cover. So now I'm gonna go back to my silver and do that right along the edges. If you love the matte look, you can totally just leave it like this, although I would suggest sealing it with maybe Mod Podge matte. I would go over it with one more layer of wood glue, and that's how these babies were born. And you can repeat this process a couple of times to get it darker if you would like. Remember, there's no wrong way to weather or detail your armor. I hope that this was of some use to you. One of my favorite things about the community is all of the tips and tricks and techniques that we can all share with each other. So if you have some really cool tips, tricks, techniques, cosplay things, whatever, I would love to see them. I definitely intend to do more videos like this moving forward. The next one will probably be Soren. So excited to be Soren. And then after that, probably Final Fantasy's Pain. Either way, thank you for watching. I promise they're only gonna get better and better. I'm gonna get the hang of this. But be safe out there, be kind to each other, and stay home. Build things. Wait, also like, comment, subscribe, do the things. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.